But Rollins was there. Owens showed up as well because Rollins needed a partner. They set up a tag team match for the main event with Rollins and Owens wrestling the Usos, with the stipulation being that if the Usos won, Seth Rollins would lose his championship match at the Rumble against Roman Reigns. However, if Rollins' team won, the Usos would be barred from ringside and barred from interfering in the Royal Rumble match, the title match. So I liked it because it actually gave the main event high stakes that tied into the Royal Rumble. And I thought it was also the match of the night for either show on Friday night. I enjoyed that main event more than any other. The finish, you had to see the finish coming. Roman Reigns interfered right when it looked like the Usos were about to lose. He said, fuck it, got in the ring, and gave Seth Rollins a Superman punch. Now, I had a couple of people point out to me, would it not have made more sense for Roman to Superman punch his cousin to get Rollins and Owens disqualified and give himself the night off at the Royal Rumble? Yes, actually, that would have made sense too. But I don't think they're going for the idea that Roman is a coward who wants out of the match. I think he wants the match. I think he's sick and tired of Seth Rollins going on TV and telling everybody that, there's 3 things in life that are certain: death, taxes, and Rollins beating Reigns. And I think it's annoying him, and he wants to go into the pay-per-view and beat the fuck out of this guy. So Roman is not very often booked to be the sort of cowardly heel. And I think he kind of would have come off that way a little bit. Although, you could have done the finish either way. Either way would have made sense. But I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the fact that they raised the stakes for it. He punched Rollins in the face, and he's going to prove at the Royal Rumble that he could finally beat this fucker. And he doesn't need anybody else's help. Now, this Saturday is the Royal Rumble. From the Dome at America's Center in St. Louis, they've got over 30,000 tickets out for the show so far. They're probably going to claim 40,000, but that's a good number of people. We've got Edge and Beth Phoenix taking on The Miz and Maurice. We still have one more Raw to go, but the last we saw these 4, Maurice hit Beth in the back with a brick in her purse. I don't see any reason for this to extend beyond the Rumble. I've got Edge and Beth finishing this off here. I suppose they could carry it over into the Saudi Arabia show in some way. I don't see this going to WrestleMania. I think this is a win for Edge and Beth Phoenix. We have Becky Lynch against Doudrop for the Raw Women's title. It's the biggest match of Piper Niven's career, but she is not winning that championship. So I have Becky retaining. We're still missing 9 names for the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. I'm not even sure WWE knows at this point. Probably put some NXT names in there. Flesh it out a little bit. We know Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, is going to be in it. Mickie James was on Busted Open Radio and said that she intends to walk out to the ring with her Impact Knockouts title around her waist. That is, unless they tell her 10 seconds before she's supposed to walk out that she can't, which would be a very WWE thing to do. We know they're bringing back a lot of past names like Lita, Michelle McCool, Kelly Kelly, Summer Rae. I wouldn't be surprised to see Molly Holly. Given that she works for them, Molly Holly make an appearance in the Rumble. I think she's made one before. Alexa Bliss has not officially been announced for the Rumble, but I am expecting some trickery from her to lead to Charlotte's elimination. And I believe Bianca Belair is the pick to go with to win the Women's Royal Rumble match and then go on to challenge Becky Lynch and beat her for her championship at WrestleMania. We have Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against Seth Rollins. Now we know the Usos are barred from ringside. They've been laying it on thick that Reigns just can't beat Rollins. Seth has his number. And Seth is promising to win the title and bring it back to Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins has a real shot here of being put over in this match and winning the championship. They can still get to Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the WWE title, even if Rollins wins and takes the Universal title over to Raw. I don't see it going that way, but I also don't think it's a slam dunk guarantee that Roman Reigns is going to win. I hope he does. I think he should, and I think he will. I think Roman continues to reigns. Sound like Paul Heyman now. He continues to reigns for a few more months. And that leads me to the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar defending against Bobby Lashley. Two very strong title matches on this show. This is one of them. But I'm looking forward to both matches. This is a match I've been waiting a very long time to see. And it took Roman Reigns getting COVID for us to get it. But I'll take it. The Brock Lesnar-Paul Heyman reunion was very sudden. It came out of nowhere right after Reigns fired Heyman. I love the two of them together, but I smell a rat. And whether it's a full-blown betrayal or it's some sort of accidentally on purpose type of thing, I think Brock Lesnar is getting screwed out of the WWE title, and Bobby Lashley is going to walk out of the Royal Rumble a 2-time WWE champion. Brock's on TV 2 weeks ago acting like he doesn't even know who Lashley is. He's calling him a wannabe Brock Lesnar, laughing in the man's face. It's all the more damaging if Brock then goes to the Rumble and just beats him in 5 minutes and proves that this guy is a scrub who's just nobody but a Brock Lesnar wannabe. I think that would be very damaging to Bobby Lashley. You know, jovial Brock Lesnar has been a lot of fun to watch, but he's been awfully full of himself lately. I think it bites him on the ass on Saturday and Lashley wins. And that then leads into the men's Royal Rumble match later in the show, where we see Brock Lesnar steal some poor schlub's number, take their spot, and he wins the Royal Rumble match. And then they can milk his decision for a few weeks on TV because he would have a case to challenge either champion. Right? Because he could challenge Lashley in a rematch to try to get his win back and his belt back, or he could resume his feud with Roman Reigns, especially if we find out that Heyman was still with the bloodline this entire time. So that's why the only reason this really works is if Heyman screws over Lesnar and reveals that he did so for Roman Reigns. Or the Usos get involved. Usos can't interfere in the WWE title match, but nobody said they couldn't stick their nose in the Universal title match. But something like that has to happen to give Brock Lesnar a reason to want to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and not just go back to Bobby Lashley. And that's how I see things playing out. But ultimately, you know, he'll choose Reigns, and that would free up Lashley at Mania to defend his title against the winner of the Elimination Chamber match in Saudi Arabia. If the Elimination Chamber match ends up being contested, either for the I guess it could be for the WWE Championship, but if it was contested to, let's say, determine a challenger for the title, I think it would end up either being Rollins, who just goes full-on babyface, or Big E. But those are my early Rumble predictions. If anything happens on the shows this week to change my mind, I will talk about it on the SmackDown stream on YouTube Friday night.